Barding and larding for me is essential. Barding is actually putting fat on the outside, and larding is putting fat inside. It's just... Barding and larding. Let me explain you the difference. Right here I have some beef fat, which is suet, and some fat back from the pork, two different kinds of fat, but let me show you here. The main difference between barding and larding is actually putting fat on the outside or the inside of the meat. Now you might think it's a little crazy to put extra fat, but you know, when we have a very lean piece of meat, it's important to put the flavor back inside. Like this beautiful beef tenderloin here, there's this fat right on top and the silver skin. If I don't take it out, it'll all shrivel up here, so it's important to take it away. All right, I have a beautiful one here cleaned, just like that. See that? That's gorgeous. Now here inside, you see there's little flecks of fat inside. This is called marbling. There's not a whole lot, so it's important that I put a little piece of pork fat on top. Now I'm not putting beef fat. The reason is this is this beautiful sheet of pork fat. I'm not putting beef fat. The reason is it's too much flavor. It'll overpower and it won't actually do justice to the beef. All right, let me show you how to tie this. Right under here. Tie it up. All right, now here's the trick. Put the string over your hand like this, right under, and you secure it. Now I'm doing this just so the meat, like I said before, the meat doesn't all, you know, become funny when I cook it. You see now it's all secure. Now this will be our presentation side. You always put in first, just like that. It'll look all nice and pretty when we serve it. Of course, a little salt, a little pepper on super high heat. And Dan, can you please take care of this for me?
Yes, chef.
Great. All right. I've got this beautiful piece of veal right here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is a rump of veal, a little tougher, but I'm just going to trim here just to make it nice and even, just like that. See this beautiful piece of meat? Now, let me show you another way of barding. I have these beautiful strips of pork fat again, just like this, and I'm going to show you how to make a lattice. All right. Just like your grandma's apple pie here. You just put the strips like that. Now the reason why I'm doing it with lattice and not a sheet like with the beef is simply because this veal doesn't need as much moisture. So I'm just putting a little bit less, just like that. There you go. Now with this veal here, I'll be doing a wet bake. That simply means I'm going to put moisture in the pan and it's going to braise. And of course, this beautiful twine again. See, doesn't that look cool already? All right. Now you remember we're doing the same thing, just under, and you tie it up. Again, put your hand here, twist it around. You have to be a little more precise with this one because it's a little more delicate. All right. Again, the hot pan, very important. Now here's a myth. You know, when some people say that it's important to seal in the flavors, That's not really true. We're not sealing in the flavors. We're actually just shocking the meat just to make sure that it stays the same size, just like that. Hot pan, it's gonna sizzle like that. There you go, a little salt and pepper. Remember, we're doing here a wet bake. So we're searing it, and 2-3 minutes later, it's important to seal all the sides. Just like that. You see here all the little bits of flavor. This is wicked. A little shot of wine, why not? Now, very important, mirepoix. Mirepoix will give the veal the extra flavor, and a little bit of veal stock right on top. Now I'm putting this here. This is a bouquet garni with leeks, some oregano, thyme, and this will give it an extra kick of flavor. All right, now this is going in the oven. This one here is the veal. We're gonna wet bake it, low temperature oven for a long time. There you go. This one, dry bake, really hot eat, we're roasting it. There. All right, guys, let's get ready. You want to chop a little more carrots here?
Okay, chef.
Great. Now this here is a beautiful piece of venison. This is farm-raised venison. I myself like it better. It's just a little less gamey, and you know, I don't know, I think it's maybe a better quality meat. Now what I'm doing here, I'm larding. We did barding before, now I'm larding with this larding needle. It's kind of a weird little weapon, but I'll show you how easy it is to do here. So you just literally put the lard right in here and you press it down with your finger to hold it in place. Poke it through the meat. This is a beautiful piece of strip loin. Poke it through, and you see here, just poking through the meat. This is where your talent of sewing comes in handy. All right, just poke it through like that. Now the reason why I'm doing this lard here, which is pork fat, will give this extra flavor to the meat. This is an extremely lean piece of meat, and it's very important to put the moisture back in. So I'm just putting the fat right in here. All right. Now, if you don't have one of these tools, just ask your butcher. I mean, this is very important, you know, to establish a good relationship with your butcher. Then you can get anything you want. You just have to ask him, get me a nice, sexy piece of venison. He'll get it for you, and ask him to lard it like this. So just poke it through, just like that. All right. I'm just cutting the excess off here. Now you're probably wondering where I got these little pieces of fat from. Well, this here is a beautiful piece of fat back from pork. I'm just cutting a little slice like this, just like that. You don't want to get it too thick. And just a little piece like that. Okay, now we've got one left to do here. In the needle it goes. Okay. Just like that. Cut the excess. All right, so I'm just gonna reform it. Just like that. A little salt and pepper. Fresh pepper is always better. A little bit of olive oil. Fresh herbs for extra flavor. Try to get it on the meat, not on the board. All right, little massage, why not? Now this is flavor. On a nice roasting pan. Okay. There we go. In the oven it goes. Now this here, we're dry baking it just like before. So I need a hot oven for a very small amount of time, because this is this now will become a very tender piece of meat, and it'll be fantastic. Right. All right. We've done some venison, some beef, some barding, larding. Now, let's do pork. I have some beautiful ginger here that I've chopped up. Come with me in the fridge. All right, some beautiful pork here. It's kind of an unappreciated meat, I think, but I'm gonna show you a sensational way of cooking it. I have this beautiful pork loin right here. There you go. It's a big fat one here. There. Okay, on a towel to pat it dry just to get the excess moisture out. Now, just like this. Okay. I'm gonna cut it in half, but I won't tell you right now what I'm gonna do with it. Okay. We'll leave this right here for now. I have this mortar that I'm gonna be putting some smashed garlic. There. Smashed garlic with the pestle here. I put a little bit of salt. This is actually a cool trick to make. I'm making a garlic puree, and the salt will actually make it bind together. So you just smash it up like this. A little noisy, but that's all right. All right. Now you probably saw that I had a marinade for the pork. I probably always do this with pork. The simple reason is I put a little bit of brandy and orange juice inside. This will help tenderize the meat already, and it'll give us this extra flavor. All right. So this is all smashed up. A little bit of fresh herbs, oregano and thyme for extra flavor. Pepper, can't forget the pepper. Just like that. Remember our little friend here? Well, this lardon, I'm going to show you how to use it two ways. I have this beautiful half pork loin here. I'm just going to roughly measure it up here. Cut the lardon. All right. All right. This is where you need a very sharp knife. You see where you're trying to get in the middle of the loin here with the point of your knife. Just put your hand here to make it more stable, and you go right through. Right through like that. All right. Just see if we got it perfectly on this side. That works. Okay. This lardon is going in the persillade. This is how we call this little mixture we did here. You see it's all sticking together? That's flavor for you. Right in the hole. Just like that. You just have to push it. You'll see it goes in pretty easy. You can help it on the other side with your other finger. Just like that. You see it's coming out? If the garlic fell out, just put it back in there. All right. Now, of course, we have to tie it just to help it keep its shape, just like we did before. So under. I don't know if you can imagine the extra flavor, but the lardon inside is going to melt, and it's going to make this pork extra, extra juicy. I have this beautiful hot skillet with a little bit of oil. See how hot this is? All right. In for searing. Excellent. All right, this little guy is coming here. That's great. All right, I told you we're gonna do it two ways. Let me show you the other one here. All right, we'll put this one right here. Beautiful ginger. Dried figs, dried apricots. All right. This is the whole piece. I just chopped it up. Just roughly chopped it like that. And this is going right in the RoboCoupe. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm gonna stuff the pork loin this time. Salt, pepper, and a little shot of brandy. Just a little. All right. Let's make a little noise. All right. Now you remember our piece of loin here? I'm gonna show you a different way. See this beautiful piece of loin with the fat on top? Just gonna grab a knife. So we're making a wallet, kind of. So right in the middle, I take my very, very sharp knife and go right in. This will take a couple shots, but you wanna make it, you don't wanna go through all the way. You wanna just be able to open it up like that. Just like that. All right, little salt and pepper. And this beautiful stuffing we did. Now I'm not putting too much in because this will expand. Just a little bit like that. Doesn't that look great already? Now our thyme, of course. All right, this is all secure. Again, a very hot pan with oil. Now that's hot. And I sear it just like that. See, this is great. It's gonna make a beautiful crust on top. Great. Oh, that looks good. Yeah. All right, now this is searing. Let it sear on every side. You know, you wanna create a crust all around it, just like this beautiful one. Oh, if you could smell this, it's absolutely sweet, and you could almost smell the fat already. There you go. Okay. This looks good too. We're doing the same process here. It's two different methods, but the same process. Just like that. How nice does that look, eh? All right, now you remember everything gets finished off in the oven because it's an more even heat going in. So this one that is stuffed with the lard is going right in, and the stuff with the apricots, this will be absolutely great. It'll melt. Oh, I can't wait. All right, now the reason why I put it in the oven is just so it's even. You see all the heat from all the sides is gonna cook it perfectly. Guys, I'm gonna need your help. Now this smells absolutely incredible. Remember our beef wrapped in the fat here? This is the Barding beef. Beautiful. Oh, now this is great. Huge veal here that we've been braising with the lettuce on top. Nice. Oh, beautiful pork. You remember we have one has the lard in the middle and one that is stuffed with the apricots. Just gonna let these sit here for a second. All right, you know what's in here? This beautiful venison, beautiful. You see, I had a foil on top just to let it rest. It's very, very important to let it rest just so all the juices can go back in. You see all the little lardon here that we put with the needle? This is making it extra, extra juicy. All right, I've got some beautiful wild rice right here. Beautiful asparagus, freshness of the summer. Okay, and our very sexy venison. Oh, you see how juicy this is? This is exactly why we put the lardon here. This looks amazing. Now you remember our beautiful beef? Well, don't forget the string here. I'm just cutting it here with scissors. There you go. Now we put the Barding on top, so all the juices are gonna go straight in the meat. Oh, this is so tender. A little bit of fat on it. There you go. Oh, you see? Medium rare, exactly how I want it. Roasted potatoes, perfect combination with beef, don't you think? Little baby carrots. Ooh, that's hot. Okay. And this, ooh, super juicy beef. Now this veal is fantastic. I could tell already. This is so moist with the lettuce that we put on top. It's incredible. All right. This has such a delicate flavor. Ooh. Beautiful pork tenderloin, the one we put the lard inside. This pork we've stuffed with the lardon. This one we made a stuffing mixed with the apricots, a little balsamic glaze. Well, Barding is great. Guys, I think we earned our dinner here. Why don't you come down? Well, to Barding and Larding.